I'm Julia Fisher. Welcome to this week's edition of The Olive Tree, the programme that brings you the voices of both Jewish believers and Arab Christians living in Israel today. Today my guest is a young Israeli woman called Leah. Her name means God is for me. I met her in Tel Aviv, where she helps in a local Messianic congregation. This is the story of how an Arab Palestinian Christian helped a young Jewish woman find her faith in Yeshua, or Jesus. But let's start at the beginning. As you will hear, Leah was not born in Israel.
I born in Estonia, Esti, and me and my family came 17 years ago. Of the family, and they live near to Ashkelon.
You must have been very young then when your parents came here.
I was 7 years old. Now I'm 26 almost.
What do you remember of those years? Because it's a very big change in your life.
I remember the good life. I remember our village house, and everything was easy, not like here, because everything not happening there, and here in Israel everything happened and so fast, and wars and things, and I just remember the quiet life.
Did you find it easy to settle here as a 7-year-old?
For me it was easy, but for my parents and my family, no, because it was really hard with language problems, and till now they're working not so good with jobs, and I think only me from all my families just get used to live here and start a really good life here.
So what made your parents leave Estonia and come to Israel?
My mother have a dream. And first time they decide, because my father is Jewish and my mother knows, so they decide, we will come to Israel. And nothing just happened. All the doors was closed and they just can come here. And few months later my mother have dream. You must come to Israel. And in one month, they sell the house, sell everything, and we just came because my mother had a dream. And she is not Jewish as well. Just believe in Yeshua.
What was the dream about?
She see big ship, and it just voice that telling her, you have to come to Israel. That's it.
And did she believe in God? Or?
Yes, it was a few years after she started to believe in Yeshua. And my father did not believe, and he was laughing at her. And she understood that it's God's voice, because first time all the doors was closed for them, and for the next time, everything just happened. So...
So when you arrived, you say your parents had difficulty learning the language and settling, as many older people would have. Did your father manage to find a job?
He find job, and he works 17 years in this job. I don't know how you say in English, but he working with his body and build houses.
He's a builder?
Yeah, builder. But there he was engineer. And he not so young now. It's really hard. But I never hear him to say it's hard for me. And because they don't have a language, so they don't have how to work.
So you went to school. Did you have to go through the army?
Yes, I was in the army. I was in military police in the checkpoints. I check Palestinians in the post. Then when they come to Israel, we need to check them. And we have to check that no terrorist is coming. So it was interesting.
Must have been quite difficult. It's very challenging, that sort of work, isn't it?
It's challenging because you see the both of sides. You see the Israeli side that want to protect himself, and you see their side that they want to bomb sometimes, and there is good people that want to come to Israel and working, and you see the conflict, and it's really hard because you see these people and you're really sorry for them. And in my time we catch 2 people that want bomb buses, and it was I have angry, and then I'm really sorry for them. And the interesting story that my first Bible I get from one of Palestinian pastors. We don't allow to take things from Palestinians because it's wrong. We just don't allow it. And one of them just passed a few times, and I was talking with him because I really love speaking with people. And I asked, and I see that he was Christian. I asked him if we have Bible in Hebrew, and he say sure. And one day he just came, and he don't allow to. He put with his passport the book that nobody will see, and I think it's book still now with me, and I'm reading. Yeah.
So what was going on in your life? Why did you want a Bible?
I know, I hear from my mother about Yeshua, but it's never was interesting for me. It's never told to my heart. But in the army, I feel something different in myself, that I'm a little different from other people, that I want more communication with God. And I know that it was the right place. So I really want to read more.
So an Arab pastor, a Palestinian pastor, gave you, a Jewish girl, a Hebrew Bible.
Yeah.
Did it have the New Testament as well?
Yes, a New Testament. It's both of the books. And it was funny, few years after, I met him in conference. And I came to him and I said, do you remember me? And he said, sure. And he was really happy that to see the change that when he met me, I just was looking for. And a few years after, I just came and met him, and it was really exciting.
So did it take you a long time, Leah, to become a believer? Was it a long process?
Yes, because in the army I was just reading and live my life. The change came 3 years after. I have a really hard life. My brother was in drugs. He lived in the streets. And everything was hard. And one day, I just lay on my floor and just crying. And I say, God, I don't know who you are, where you are, but I have to see your sign and hear from you. And I so crying. And I think I never crying. Just now I feel the crying in me. And I'm going to sleep. Next day, I'll get in Google and write Messianic Jews. And I find website, and there was girl. I start writing to her, and I say, do you know Messianic Israeli people or something? I want to know somebody. It's take like 1 week. Nobody answer me. Next week, she answer me. She bring me her number. And day after, they close the website. And it was a sign for me. Like, I just look, I find this girl, and I have the number to start to know, and everything was closed. And I started going to Tiferet Yeshua congregation, and from there I started to build my life in Yeshua.
So you joined the congregation here in Tel Aviv, and now here you are. You're working here.
Yeah. I was working in the airport in the security few years. And Kati, one of the workers, she asked me, Leah, do you want to change? And I say, change, it will be good. And few days we praying here, and everybody have time to say thank you about something. And I just tell them that it's the best thing that I have in my life, to work in this place, that you can serve people and you can help people and do a lot of things that people don't know that you're doing, but you feel in your heart that you help for them. So I think it's one of the biggest presents that I have for me.
It seems that in this congregation there are a lot of young people who have a passionate faith, the same as you do. It must be a very exciting environment to be in here in Israel at this time.
I think the young people have a lot of problems here, and it's really hard. But it's really good to see that really the young people want to share, they believe. And I really admire these people, a lot of people from us, because it's really hard. It's not like all the countries in the world that everybody know. Here you can say, I believe in Yeshua, and somebody can just yell on you. One day I stay on the bus station. One of the guys just came to say, hi, can I meet you? Or you're looking really nice girl. And I say, I don't think it's a good idea. And he say, why? And I say, I believe in Yeshua. And he just like, I don't know how you say in English.
He spat at you.
Yeah, and he going. And I was so happy that my bus came. I was just crying. And it's these things we have a lot. It's nobody like you cannot going and start a relationship with a lot of people because nobody like it, or I don't know say how, but it's hard. Here it's more hard. You feel like you have like secret.
Are you afraid being a believer here?
I don't afraid. I feel different and I like it. I don't feel afraid.
And when you look at the future, what do you think? What do you pray?
Wow. I pray for that a lot of people will know Yeshua, and say shalom, have in this peace in this country, because we have a lot of problems in this country, and I think people really need to know Yeshua to more have solutions for things in our life.
Leah, a young Israeli woman sharing the story of her life so far. And you're listening to The Olive Tree with me, Julia Fisher, the programme that week by week brings you stories of both Jewish and Arab believers in Jesus living in Israel and the Palestinian areas today, to help us understand what God is doing there at this time. Like many young Israelis, Leah has faced many challenging experiences. The Olive Tree Reconciliation Fund is a Christian charity based in the UK that supports the needs of both Jewish and Arab Christians living in the Holy Land, especially those involved in reconciliation. If you'd like to know more about our work and receive our free bi-monthly newsletter, please either visit our website, olivetreefund.org, or write to me, Julia Fisher, at the Olive Tree Reconciliation Fund, P.O. Box 850, Horsham, RH12 9GA in the UK. And if you'd like to hear this programme again or any edition of The Olive Tree, please visit the website olivetreefund.org. Meanwhile, join me at the same time next week for another story from The Olive Tree. Until then, goodbye.